वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीर धारी कृपाम्बुदीर्य तमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत् कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणम् वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, warm welcome everyone in the study of Nectar of Instruction. So we'll continue our study. Today we'll be seeing text 10. Again, these instructions given by Srila Rupa Goswami to us for the attaining the highest attainment in life, highest attainment, and highest attainment uh, in this yuga of Mahaprabhu's yuga. Hmm. So see, as we discussed now, text 1 to 8, I find they are different league, and that is where all the instructions are, or especially the in text 8, all the instructions are covered in text 8, 1 to 7, because and in also in that text 8, the thing too is to follow a devotee. Uh, Now text 1 says na, that to control the urges of the mind, senses, belly, genitals, all that, and six items which help us in bhakti, which strengthen our bhakti, and six items which weaken our bhakti. Then sharing of gifts, sharing of prasadam, and sharing of heart, sharing of mind, inquisitiveness. hmm, Then how to deal with devotees, not to see them externally and not to be critical. hmm, Then this continuously chanting Hare Krishna, continuously engaged in devotional service, even though we are not there, but still we have to strive. Practice makes a man perfect. But all of this can be covered in text 8, wherein like Kalem Nayat Akhilam Iti Updesasaram, that all time throughout, always and always, we should be engaged in devotional service. And how will that can we attain that? The simple and the only, the secured, surest, simplest, and the best way, and potentially the only way, actually the only way, is by taking shelter of a pure devotee of the Lord. Then, if we take shelter of a pure devotee of the Lord, we will naturally be able to control our senses under His kind guidance, care, shelter when we fall in attachment towards a pure devotee of the Lord. And because we are attached with Him, then that attachment will be heart to heart attachment, not mind or intelligence as such dominating factor. The source of that attachment will be heart to heart, and we will all those divine qualities will get rubbed on us as well by the blessings of that pure devotee. Uh, and all these instructions are what to help us to come to 9, 10, 11. So now see, in societal sense also there is no shortage as such of instructions, learning and instructions. And in society also we see na, somewhat instructions is given: be enthusiastic, be confident, and have patience, uh, and follow a good relationships, be transparent, open, blah de blah de blah, so much na. Do not overeat, do not oversleep, do not over endeavor, again blah de blah de blah. All such instructions we see given in society also. But the culmination of all these societal instructions, where does it culminate, where does it take us to? No more, at the most, what, 6 feet land, 6 feet of land, as in ultimately towards death only. If at all any glory, any achievements, it has to be for this year on, this life only, na? Which anyways, materially speaking, what we are to destined to get, we will get it. Hmm. What we are destined to get is going to come to us one way or the other. But spiritual destiny is in our hands, how we want to shape our spiritual destiny. And when we work on shaping our spiritual destiny, then our material destiny also we can have some check over it. Hmm. Otherwise, we do not have any check. We think we are in control, but actually we are controlled heavily. Huh. That is the illusion that we think that we are in control, but we are thoroughly controlled, completely controlled. And someone following a motivational speaker or those instructions, na, societal material, those instructions, ultimately again what that is for physical comforts only or some sort of material comforts. And one may think, oh no, I'm leaving a legacy, everyone has to die, I'm going to leave a legacy behind, I'm going to help the next generation behind. Well, what help? This is such a changing world, such a rapidly changing world. You leave something for the next generation won't take it. They will develop something else, they will build something new. And they might say also, why did our forefathers do this? Why did they leave this? They have left us in hanging position, in limbo position. So material life, material life means always living in limbo position. What does limbo mean? Hmm?
Limbo
Limbo position.
kind.
Huh?
What
Limbo
what's the
position. Material life means living in limbo position. Limbo meaning no shelter, no fixed shelter, hanging around. Uh, no ashray, no shelter, hanging around to and fro. So that's material life. Mm. Uh, Material life is like what? Rocking chair. We all have seen a rocking chair, na? Huh? Rocking chair, na? Now, someone sitting in a rocking chair, naturally, then one actually gets, just by sitting in that rocking chair, one starts to shake himself. Hmm? And can shake himself a bit fast also. So, my dear sir, you are sitting in this rocking chair, shaking so fast. Where are you going? Nowhere. Chair is shaking very fast. I am shaking very fast with the chair. But where have you reached? Nowhere. I'm still here. That's material life. So hard, working so hard, getting what at the end of the day? Nothing as such. Huh? Hardly any satisfaction. But so following those instructions for material purpose wouldn't lead us anywhere. And whatever we are supposed to get matter wise, we will anyways get it. But when we follow Rupa Goswami's instructions, these instructions, they give value in our life. Point is, Krishna has to be the source of our life. Krishna has to be the foundation of our life. Look, so far, we don't know what is the center of our problem. Actually, we don't know. Hmm. We think what job, finance is the center of my problem, health is the center of my problem, loneliness is the center of my problem, this and that. But the center of our problems is what? Misidentification crisis. Heavily identifying with material body, material attachments. I, me, and mine. That is the problem, the root problem. That is the root thing. And the solution is what? Bringing Krishna in the center. Only then, when we bring only Krishna in the center, only then we will find all resolve. Huh? So, speaking of center in a circle, how many centers are there in a circle? One only, right? One center. Any circle, big or small, one center only. Now, how can I draw 10 circles or 100 circles or 1000 circles or 10,000 circles in a way that do not cut each other? What is the way? What is the way I draw 10,000 circles and none of them cut each other by having the common center when they all have the same center, something in geometry called as concurrent circle, na? When they all have the same center. Likewise, us, na? All of us humans, doesn't matter whatever political nationality we are coming from, male body, female body, no, even plants, animals, birds, bees, water bodies, all bodies share the same source, Krishna. So when we make Krishna the center of our life, then all problems will be sorted. And until and unless we don't make Krishna the center of our life, then we will miss. First of all, we'll be missing what is the center of my problem. And even if we solve a problem, another problem will be there, cropping up. Now, nectar of instruction, Rupa Goswami is telling us who is the center of our life. What should be the central aim of our life? What does life mean? Life means eternity. Uh, Life means continuous, na? Life means eternal. Life means joy, bliss. Life means nourishment. Life means security, peace, na? Life means unrestricted fun. Hmm? And these instructions 9, 10, 11, they are helping us go there. We have to have a vision, na? We have to have a purpose. Krishna consciousness helps us develop a vision which is higher than us. In material society also people say, na, well, we need to have a vision which is higher than us, bigger than us. Our vision goal should be bigger than me. uh. And this is the Krishna conscious vision we want to develop. The most ambitious people in this world are practicing devotees. They are the one who are taking this ambition of cutting the cycle of repeated birth, death, old age, and disease. Is it not a big ambition? Huh? They are the one who are taking this ambition to completely cut off from the material sphere, thought process, consciousness level altogether. Who is it who is ambitioning towards liberation? Who is it who is ambitioning towards a life of eternal joy and bliss? Very ambitious, na? If you tell someone this is what I am aiming for, hmm, and this Rupa Goswami is helping us, wanting us to build this ambition. We have experienced everything in life, but not this purity, not this joy, not this. And what is the harm? Prabhupada was once asked by some guest in audience that Swamiji, you say that there's life after death, reincarnation, and all of these things, God exists and all, huh? And you are doing so much of austerity, so much of hardships, struggles. Your disciples, followers are going through, waking up early in the morning, uh, sleeping less, say eating less, and all this jumping and dancing, running around and all. Hmm? What what is the proof? And what if there is nothing like this? What if none of it is true? Then huh? Look at us. If what is the proof? And if turns out that there's no reincarnation, there's no law of karma, there's no God exists and all, then all your is waste of labor, na? And look at us, we are enjoying, relishing altogether. Prabhupada replied, okay. Huh? Imagine if something of nothing of this is true also. Still, we do not have anything to fear or worry. We are still enjoying chanting Hare Krishna, dancing, and having a pure, healthy life. Such nice food we eat and such good friendship. So, what is there for us to lose? No stress, no worry, no anxiety. Uh, Relishing life. And what if this turns out to be true? If it turns out to be true, it is a gold for us. We have struck gold. Ah, and if it doesn't turn out to be true, still nothing wrong. Ah, but on the other side, one who has not yet found his faith in Krishna consciousness or not wanting to explore, what at the best, na? What at the max? Hmm? 6 feet land, no more than that. So there are two things in life. Choice is ours. Two things is life. One is one died. A person died. That person fell flat. Another is leaving the body. Now choice is ours. What would we want? What would we want to attain? Would we want to leave our body or would we want to die? Would we want to fall flat or leave our body? Huh? Leave our body, na? In the sense, we change garments, na? On a daily basis, two times, three times, maybe we change garments, na? Huh? Likewise, this leaving the body is like a changing of body. Now, what do we want? Do we change the body? Meaning, do we want to leave this body? Meaning, die, say, in awareness, in consciousness. Hmm? Die thinking of Krishna, then that is leaving the body. Otherwise, what's the big deal? Body is body there. Hmm. It's the consciousness what matters, which is thoroughly alive. Eh? And by developing some mood, vision, some practice, hmm, some sanity, this life we can transcend from temporariness to eternity. That Rupa Goswami is wanting from all of us. And when this becomes our vision, then we will do all the remaining things, follow all the instructions. Naturally, when we follow the lead of a devotee, we would want to chant more and more throughout. We want to read, we want to do services, everything more and more. So, with this hope, mood, aim, aspiration, prayer, yearning, calling, desire that one day we align our desires with the desire of Srila Rupa Goswami. We can further continue our study of Sri Nectar of Instruction. Text 10 is what we will be seeing today. Hmm? And Harsha maybe can read the translation and purport can be shared maybe by Nikhil, between Nikhil and Anuja. So it should be coming on the screen. Text 10. Karmibhya parito. Yeah. कर्मिभ्यः परितो हरे प्रियतया व्यक्तिं ययुर्ज्ञानिनः तेभ्यो ज्ञानविमुक्तभक्ति परमा प्रेमिकनिष्ठस्ततः तेभ्यस्तपशुपालपङ्कजदृशस्ताभ्योऽपि स राधिका प्रेष्ठा त्वद्वदीयं तदीया सरसीतां निःश्रयेत् ककृति. I shall read translation. Harsha, are you able to read? Okay, Anuja, you read translation. Okay, read Harsha.
All types of fruitive workers. He who is advanced in knowledge of the higher values of life is favored by the Supreme Lord Hari. Out of many such people who are advanced in knowledge, Gyanis, one who is practically liberated by virtue of his knowledge may take to devotional service. He is superior to the others. However, one who has actually attained prema, pure love of Krishna, is superior to him. The gopis are exalted above all the advanced devotees because they are always totally dependent upon Sri Krishna, the transcendental cowherd boy. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most dear to Krishna. Her kund, that is lake, is as profoundly dear to Lord Krishna as this most beloved of the gopis. Who then will not reside at Radha Kund and in a spiritual body surcharged with ecstatic devotional feelings? Aparkrata bhava. render loving service to the divine couple Sri Sri Radha Govinda, who perform their Atsya Kalila Leela, their
Ashtakalya Leela, huh?
Ashtakalya Leela. Okay. Their eternal eightfold daily pastimes. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Radha Kund are the most fortunate people in the universe.
Anuja, read purport.
At the present moment, almost everyone is engaged in some kind of fruitive activity. Those who are desirous of gaining material profits by working are called karmis, or fruitive workers. All living entities within this material world have come under the spell of Maya. This is described in the Vishnu Puran 6.7.61. Vishnu,
Vishnu Shakti, read, okay, read.
Vishnu Shakti Para Yuta Kshetra Jnanakya Tatha Para Avidya Karma Samgyana Tritiya Saktir Ishyate.
Very good.
Sages have divided the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead into three categories, namely the spiritual energy, marginal energy, and material energy. The material energy is consisted in the third class energy, Tritiya Shakti. Those living beings within the jurisdiction of the material energy sometimes engage themselves like dogs and hogs in working very hard simply for sense gratification. However, in this life or after executing pious activities in the next life, some karmis become strongly attracted to performing various kinds of sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas. Thus, on the strength of their pious merit, they are elevated to heavenly planets. Actually, those who perform sacrifices strictly according to the Vedic injunctions are elevated to the moon and planets above the moon. As mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 9.21,
Shine Punya Martya Lokam Visanti.
after exhausting the results of after exhausting the results after exhausting the results of their so-called pious activities, they again return to the earth, which is called Martya Loka, the place of death. Although such persons may be elevated to the heavenly planets by their pious activities, and although they may enjoy life there for many thousands of years, they nonetheless must return to this planet when the results of their pious activities are exhausted.
Paper, or if Simon is okay to read, Simon can read or paper.
There. This is the position of all karmis, including those who act piously and those who act impiously. On this planet, we find many businessmen, politicians, and others who are simply interested in material happiness. They attempt to earn money by all means, not considering whether such means are pious or impious. Such people are called karmis, or gross materialists. Among the karmis are some vikarmis, people who act without the guidance of Vedic knowledge. Those who act on the basis of Vedic knowledge perform sacrifices for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu and to receive benedictions from him. In this way, they are elevated to higher planetary systems. Such karmis are superior to the vikarmis, for they are faithful to the directions of the Vedas and are certainly dear to Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita 4.11, Krishna says,
Yatamam prapadyante tangstathaiva bhajamyaham.
In whatever way one surrenders unto me, I reward him accordingly. Krishna is so kind that he fulfills the desires of the karmis and jnadis, not to speak of the bhaktas. Although the karmis are sometimes elevated to higher planetary systems, as long as they remain attached to fruitive activities, they must accept new material bodies after death. If one acts piously, he can attain a new body among the demigods in the higher planetary systems, or he may attain some other position in which he can enjoy a higher standard of material happiness. On the other hand, those who are engaged in impious activities are degraded and take birth as animals, trees, and plants. Thus, those fruitive actors who do not care for the Vedic directions, the karmis, are not appreciated by learned saintly persons. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam.
Nunam pramata purite karma yadondriya priyataya aprinoti na sadhu manye yata atmano yam asanna pikleshada askadeha.
Materialists who work hard like dogs and hogs simply for sense gratification are actually mad. They simply perform all kind of abominable activities simply for sense gratification. Materialistic activities are not at all worthy for intelligent men, for as a result of such activities one gets a material body, which is the full of misery. The purpose of human life is to get out of the threefold miserable conditions, which are concomitant with material existence. Unfortunately, fruitive workers are made to earn money and acquire temporary material comforts by all means. Therefore, they risk being degraded to lower species of life. Materialists foolishly make many plans to become happy in this material world. They do not stop to consider that they will live only for a certain number of years, out of which they must spend the major portion acquiring money for sense gratification. Ultimately, such activities end in death. Materialists do not consider that after giving up the body, they may become embodied as lower animals, plants, or trees. Thus, all their activities simply defeat the purpose of life. Not only are they born ignorant, but they act on the platform of ignorance, thinking that they are getting material benefits in the shape of skyscraper buildings, big cars, honorable position, and so on. The materialists do not know that in the next life they will be degraded, and all their activities simply serve as parabhava, they defeat. This is the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.5. Parabhavash tavad abodhayatah.
One should therefore be eager to understand the science of the soul, Atma Tattva. Unless one comes to the platform of Atma Tattva, by which one understands that the soul and body, the soul and not the body is oneself, one remains on the platform of ignorance. Out of thousands and even millions of ignorant people who are wasting their time to simply gratifying their senses, one may come to the platform of knowledge and understand higher values of life. Such person is called a jnani. The jnani knows that fruitive activities will bind him to material existence and cause him to transmigrate from one kind of body to another. As indicated in Srimad Bhagavatam, the term Sharira Bandha bound to bodily existence. As long as one maintains any conception of sense enjoyment, his mind will be absorbed in karma, fruit of activity, and this will oblige him to transgress from one body to another.
Hmm. Nikhil, read.
Hare Krishna. The Jnani is considered superior to a Karmi because he at least refrains from the blind activities of sense enjoyment. This is the verdict of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, although a Jnani may be liberated from the ignorance of the Karmis, unless he comes to the platform of devotional service, he is still considered to be in ignorance, avidya. However, although a Jnani may be liberated from the ignorance of the karmis, unless he comes to the platform of devotional service, he is still considered to be in ignorance, avidya. Although one may be accepted as a Jnani or one advanced in knowledge, his knowledge is considered impure because he has no information of devotional service and thus neglects the direct worship of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna.
Hmm. Anuja, read.
When a Jnani takes to devotional service, he rapidly becomes superior to an ordinary Jnani. Such an advanced person is described as Jnana Vimukta Bhakti Parama. Devotional service is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 7.19, where Krishna says Bahuna Jan Janmajan
Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha.
After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Actually, a person is wise when he surrenders unto the lotus feet of Krishna, but such a Mahatma great soul is very rare. After taking to devotional service under the regulative principles, a person may come to the platform of spontaneous love of Godhead, following in the footsteps of great devotees like Narada and Sanak and Sanatana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead then recognizes him to be superior. The devotees who have developed love of Godhead are certainly in an exalted position. Of all these devotees, the gopis are recognized as superior because they do not know anything other than satisfying Krishna, nor do the gopis expect any return from Krishna. Indeed, sometimes Krishna puts them into extreme suffering by separating himself from them. Nonetheless, they cannot forget Krishna. When Krishna left Vrindavan for Mathura, the gopis became most dejected and spent the rest of their lives simply crying in the separation from Krishna. This means that in one sense they were never actually separated from Krishna. There is no difference between thinking of Krishna and associating with him. Rather, Vipralamba Seva, thinking of Krishna in separation, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, is far better than serving Krishna directly. Thus, of all the devotees who have developed unalloyed devotional love for Krishna, the gopis are the most exalted, and out of all these exalted gopis, Srimati Radharani is the highest. No one can excel the devotional service of Srimati Radharani. Indeed, even Krishna cannot understand the attitude of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, he took her position and appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just to understand her transcendental feelings.
Nikhil, read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Indeed, even Krishna cannot understand the attitude of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, he took her position and appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just to understand her transcendental feelings. In this way, Srila Rupa Goswami gradually concludes that Srimati Radharani is the most exalted devotee of Krishna and that her Kund lake, Shri Radha Kund, is the most exalted place. This is verified in a quotation from Laghu Bhagavat Uttarakhand 45, as quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrit. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnos Tasya Kundam Priyam Tatha Sarva Gopishu Sevika Vishnor Atyanta Vallabha.
Very well.
Just as Srimati Radharani is dear to the Supreme Lord Bhagavan Shri Krishna, so her bathing place Radha Kund is equally dear to Krishna. Among all the gopis, she alone stands supreme as the Lord's most beloved. Therefore, everyone interested in Krishna consciousness should ultimately take shelter of Radha Kund and execute devotional service there throughout one's life. This is the conclusion of Srila Rupa Goswami in the 10th verse of Updeshamrit.
Pip, read translation.
In the Shastra, it is said that all types of fruitive workers, he who is advanced in knowledge of the higher values of life is favored by the Supreme Lord Hari. Out of many such people who are advanced in knowledge, Gyanis, one who is practically liberated by virtue of his knowledge may take to devotional service. He is superior to the others. However, one who has actually attained prema, pure love, Krishna is superior to him. The gopis are exalted above all the advanced devotees, the transcendental cowherd boy. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most dear, is as profoundly dear to Lord Krishna. Who then will not reside at Radhakund and, in a spiritual body, Sichao, rendered loving service to the divine couple, Sri Sri Radha Govinda, who perform the Astakaliya Lila, their eternal eightfold daily pastimes. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Radhakund are the most fortunate people in
Hare Krishna. Hare
Hare Krishna.
See, this is Hare Krishna. This is the instruction, no? 10, 9, 10, 11 for us to completely take shelter in Radha Kund, as in Braj, in Vrindavan consciousness and in Vrindavan Vas also, proper. To proper aspire for Braj Vas. Now look, Now look a way to see working life also, na? What do we see? Working life, that there's a bit of a working life, and then stability at work and all, and then like wrapping up and retirement, na, towards. So a sadhaka, he should be contemplating what towards, like say yes, settling down in Vrajna, in Vrindavan, to begin with consciousness, and then yes, of course, going to Mayapur, Vrindavan, and serving there, living there. Hmm. There's this thing. Sometimes we hear in devotee community, devotees saying what? I want to die in Vrindavan. This is one thing. I want to give up my body. I want to leave my body. I want to die in Vrindavan. Another thought is, I want to live in Vrindavan. What should be our thought? What should be our focus, vision, consciousness? I want to die in Vrindavan or I want to live in Vrindavan. No one dies in Vrindavan. Huh. Giving up the body. See, we have to practice in Krishna consciousness. We need to learn this art of dying before we die. What does that mean? Dying before we die?
Dying materially?
Nice. Simon says appreciating that everything comes and goes and nothing is permanent. Nice. Okay. Uh, Anuja says dying materially. Pip says give up the association attachment with the material body. Yeah, but you also say something. Dying before we die. See, everything is temporary. Okay. But everyone is not temporary. We are not thing, na? Every one of us is eternal. Items are temporary, okay. Matter is temporary. And whatever we see in front of us is a interaction of matter, no? But us, spirit souls, we are eternal. Hmm. And it is finding out that eternality of ours. So dying before we die, as Pip says, yes, Anuja says, no, dying materially or dying with the, we have to quit, we have to give up. Naturally, we have to detach na, from the material desires, material temptations, material association and attachment with this body. Krishna consciousness say to begin with, it is good to understand what? I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul, I'm a spiritual being. Hmm. And then where should be our contemplation? Contemplation should be on our spiritual identity. Spiritual identity meaning spiritual form, spiritual body. That should be our focus. That should be our motivation. And until and unless we die, before we actually die, how are we preparing for that then? No, no. No? Anyone became a saint after dying? No one becomes a saint after dying. While living, we have to attain this saintliness. Uh, While living only, we have to attain what? Purity. While living, we have to attain honesty. While living, we have to attain simplicity. While living, we have to attain fearlessness. Hmm, this thing. So, die before we die, meaning we have to die, completely give up, through, absorbed, or gone through, done with material lust, material ego, material desires. Only then we can make some entrance, a peek into the transcendental realm. These are the instructions 9, 10, 11 for us to develop this vision, this aim. The sooner we develop this aim and vision, na, see, in Krishna consciousness, we want to be a lifetime engagement. We actually desire it to be eternal engagement. In order for it to be eternal engagement, first it has to be a lifetime engagement, at least this life's engagement. Na? Now, for someone to have it as a lifetime engagement, the vision, the aim, aspiration has to be too evolved. It's to be very evolved. Otherwise, we cannot sustain ourselves. And of course, our vision, aim, aspiration has to be way more above us, way more above us, way more evolved. Uh, So when we are aiming for such a higher vision, then we can easily let go of the lower vision. Easily. Then it won't be a problem. So we need to learn this art, genuinely come to a stage wherein temptations and things are there, but we are not yet getting tempted by it. Nothing will change in this world. Us, we have to change, individually or collectively. World is like this, world has been like this, world will stay like this. Huh? Temporary problem is also same worldwide. What is the problem? Material consciousness worldwide. Huh? Just packaging is different. Say maybe call it Hungary, Germany, UK, Europe, America, Australia, New Zealand, wherever, Asia and all. Just packaging is different. Problem is still the same everywhere. Just slightly different packaging. And we have to grow. We have to go through our desires, go in our desires, and completely um, detach ourselves, uh, and become attached to Krishna. So we need to learn this. Again, this thing, na. One thing is to die, and one thing is to leave the body. Where would we want to situate ourselves? Die means ignorance. Uh, Death is ignorance. Leave one body means a sign of knowledge, uh, awareness, awakenness. And Krishna consciousness goes even further. We are neither averse to dying nor very much in favor of living. We are after Krishna. We are after Krishna only. So in Vrindavan, no one goes or no one lives in Vrindavan as such to die. No one dies in Vrindavan. We want to live in Vrindavan. And as we read in purport, na, karmis and jnanis and yogis and bhaktas say, now karmis, uh, they live to die. Materialist karmis, they actually live to die only. That's what. Working so hard and in return, 6 feet of land. Uh, Live to die. And bhaktas are dying to live eternally. Uh, Dying to live eternally means if tomorrow the call of death comes, are we ready? How much ready are we? Uh, We may be in a young, healthy age, na? 20, 25, 30. But is it not like a 30-year-old person passes or leaves the body? Say suddenly or whatever reason. Is it not a 30-year-old person has a car crash or something? How much ready are we? Uh, If tomorrow we have to quit. And when do we do this preparation? Last moment. Suppose we live in a flat and we have been given notice na, to vacate the flat. So we know, okay, notice has come through. 2 months, within 2 months, I need to vacate the flat. What would we do? Won't we start searching for a new flat, a different flat, possibly a much better flat? Huh? Make arrangements. And wouldn't that be the focus? Okay, that's my last date. So I must leave from here and I must find a shelter. So death is behind us, death is following us. We are being followed. We are dying as we have taken birth, na? Are we not? Where's the 5-year-old body? At one time we were 5-year-old. Prabhupada says in his classes, at one time we were 5-year-old. Where is that body now? Died? No more. We are still there. The body is changing. Huh? A time will come when this body will also won't be there, but will exist. Don't know which body yet. And human form of life gives us this choice, this option. So we have to aim to at least leave our body in knowledge. Now, what is the purpose of knowledge or culmination of knowledge? Where should knowledge culminate? What do we say? Where should knowledge lead to? Where should it culminate? What is the purpose? What should knowledge help us achieve? Could it be love? Knowledge, huh? Wisdom? Yeah, knowledge is true. Next after knowledge is becoming wise, na? Wisdom. Yes, true. Uh, knowledge is to help us understand that we are not wise. And that should be the motivation to aim towards wisdom. And wisdom is what? Falling in love with Krishna. When someone knowledgeable, so in knowledge, inherent is love. That yes, okay, I love this. Wow, nice knowledge and all. It should lead towards appreciating the beauty. It should lead towards us falling in love. Uh, Knowledge should lead us into a relationship, na? And relationship meaning a loving relationship. Uh, the best relationship is a loving relationship. We share anyways different levels of relationship, but the highest relationship is a loving relationship. And love actually, see, by default, love means pure. By default, love is pure. By default, love means unconditional. If there is any conditions attached, it's not love, na? How can there be? But because we live in a world of impurity or live in a world of duality, so there is a need to define, okay, pure love. Huh? Otherwise, by default, love is pure. And these instructions, Rupa Goswami is helping us, wanting us to build our consciousness, to build our vision towards attaining this pure love, which is unconditional, unmotivated. The only motivation in love is to serve, please the beloved. That is the only motivation. That should be the only motivation. To serve, to please the beloved. So, Karmis having a short term vision. What? No. Dance, drinks, rock and roll. That is short term vision. Very narrow vision. Ah, Karmis meaning, okay, I'm this body, I'm this nationality, I follow this religion. This is my religion, that is your religion. This is a very narrow mindset. Very narrow mindset. Karmi means working hard for sense gratification. One who does hard labor so that I can enjoy the fruits. Very self centered. Jnani, one who is more uh, attracted towards knowledge. Okay, yes. Jnani means Karmi means he's struggling to understand I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. Uh, he's more towards bodily platform. How can I make my this life better physically, and okay, next life also somewhat better physically. Life after, no vision, no time for that yet. Uh, Jnani, who is in knowledge, yes, that matter sense of obsession or gratification, no, something more subtle. Uh, Yogi, someone who is after mystic powers, spiritual powers. Na? There are many who practice. What? You see, na? Oh, wake up 4 a.m. in this a.m. in the morning and chant this mantra and attract the universe. The universe, you attract powers and then you can get BMW, Ferrari. Huh? There are. Chant this mantra for 21 days, huh? And see the result. Huh? Business will flourish, whatnot, and all these things. Turn your nose to yeses by following this mantra. So there are many, and they have the followers also. Why not? This world is a world of cheaters and cheated. Bring anything, there are followers. Eh, Currently, religion is not a very respectable term. People do not appreciate much. Uh, And maybe down the line, spirituality might become like that. People may not like spirituality then. Or spirituality has taken its own different definition. Na? Uh, Whatever works for you. For you, that is spirituality. For me, this is spirituality. Could be anything. Na? Spirituality, it has to be with spirit. Na? Spirit means life. Life means longevity. Life means eternity. Life means unbreakable. Na? Joy, bliss, that. And this is the vision Rupa Goswami is helping us build. How will we go through anger or come over anger, overcome anger? In this life only we have to overcome anger, na? Overcome anger, greed, lust, envy, pride, vanity, all of this. By having some experience, then we have to grow over it, overcome them all together once for all. And the highest thing is this motivation, this vision, that what are we aiming for? See, we check this. There are these questions, 9 questions. These are the questions, right? What? Hmm? How? When? Where? Whom? Huh? From whom? For whom? By whom? Hmm? Whose? Like, whose pen is this? What is this? How is the pen made up? Uh, who has given this pen? Why do you have a pen? So these are the questions now. What, where, why, when, whom, whose. huh? In all of this, which is the most important thing? In what, where, why, when, whom, whose, how, which is the most important?
Whose?
Whose? What, where, why, when, whom, whose, how, if at all anything I've missed, then can add. Which is the most important? Say, no, it's not. The question is not about the pen, just to clarify. That was just an example. Um, Generally asking question, na? So the question was definitely not about the pen. Generally asking any question, and the question is perhaps about life, mm, about the meaning of life, the existence of life, the purpose of life. So, in the meaning of life, what, when, where, how, whose, whom, why, which is the most important?
I would think why.
What? Why is the most important? Why? Why? At, at many times, we may come to a juncture, or there are people who come to a juncture, a point in life, wherein they question life, right? So much so, why do I exist? Now, that is a very low point in one's life. If one starts questioning, why do even I exist? Better I wear a stone. Huh? What is okay? How is okay? Where, when? That's fine. When is fine, it's just a time thing. Where is just like a place thing. Say, whose is also okay. Hmm. Why? Why do I practice Krishna consciousness? What is Krishna consciousness is good? Where is Krishna consciousness? When is Krishna consciousness? Who's and why do I practice? Why do I study? What is the purpose of my study? What is the purpose of my working? Huh? Why do I do what I do? Uh, Why? When our why is always, if one is always in resolve with why, at peace, in happy terms with why, then he will be fine. Na? Once whose why is sorted, then no confusion. Why? Huh? So this why has to be very evolved. Why do we practice Krishna consciousness? What is it that Krishna consciousness is giving us? Huh? The more and more evolved our why becomes, the more progressive we will be in our journey of Krishna consciousness. It's an endless journey. Now, for us to go in an endless journey, there has to be some experience. Now, in life, up until now, we have never experienced. Don't think so. We have experienced something which is like an endless journey, or have we experienced something in life so far wherein we can say, okay, time has stopped. This stopped the time for me. Maybe while watching football, or maybe when we were too drunk. We couldn't realize time or the time stopped. But then the after effect is what? Hmm. Practicing Krishna consciousness, we want to go in a zone, we want to go in a realm, we want to go in a meditative mode wherein time stops, wherein the why is settled, why is getting more and more evolved, the purpose, the vision. uh, One vision, one focus which is more evolving. So, in saintly community, they say, na, uh, spiritualist, a devotee practitioner, does the same thing day in, day out. Wake up early in the morning, Mangal Aarti, the same singing, the same prayers, the same hymns, the same chanting on beads, everything same, but with more focus, with more concentration. It's not doing different things or trying different things, doing the same activity, hmm, say same exercise, same prayer, but with a even evolved mood, better mood, more improved mood, mood, more higher vision, more higher purpose. That is what we want to attain. Quality, more deep, more deep. And once we'll realize that, okay, then there is no, we want to go in a zone wherein there is no calculation, how deep or how high or how far. And the sooner we get rid of this calculation thing in our head, how far have I come or how deep? No. These all are again a bit of a self centered calculations. Our only focus should be attainment of the divine couple. This is what Srila Rupa Goswami is telling us. Eh, Make only one aim, one aspiration. Aim aspiration should be that now which we have not yet had it. Eh, Making that. So karmis is fine, better than karmis are jnanis, better than jnanis are yogis, best are the bhaktas who are in unconditional love, unconditional service. Hmm. And from in bhaktas also, na, Brajvasis, the best. Huh? Narad Muni okay, others okay and all. But Brajvasis, and among Brajvasis also, friends of Krishna fine. Among Brajvasis, Gopis, hmm, the best. And among Gopis, Shrimati Radharani. Huh? And that is what whom we want to follow, the Gopis, huh? Shrimati Radharani. So, any thoughts, questions, comments, or clarifications? Maybe we can see next verse then. Text 11, we check, huh? We'll go out. Sam and I will be going outside in the conservatory. There's going to be a prayer happening now. So, nectar of instruction, text 11, maybe we can check. Yes, Nikhil?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So, like, uh, I just want some kind of elaboration on this, like the biggest question that you said, like, why is the most important question, and we should always evolve our why. So, I just want that. I was thinking uh, that understanding why I said whose was like uh, that we belong to Krishna, we belong to Krishna. So that is why I said whose. And like, so how, why is more better than understanding whose? मतलब,
Someone can ask, why do you say, whose are you? Isn't it? What to say then? See, na, child, na. Child always you tell child whatever. Child goes, why? Why? Isn't it? Children have a innumerable why or never ending why, na? Mother, why did you cook this? What is this? Why? Why? Huh? Why? So, fine, we understand whose we are. Then, why do you say whose you are? Why is this important to know? Why this question, na? Why? Say, na, I have a question that why is important. So, why? Once why is settled, then everything is settled, na? Fine, we understand who's this thing, and I'm not saying they don't have relevance. They have relevance, but what beats is this why. Once why is settled, then who, who's, whom, for who, everything is settled, na? But if why is not settled, then we could well be in theoretically sense who, whom, whose, all of this, na? Does this somewhat help, Nikhil?
yes, Prabhu. Yes. So understanding
Mhm.
who, whose, this all means like you are little bit gyani. You are not like this is all the indication of a gyani. Like it's not like
Well, why can also be in that sense indication of Jnanina that my why is resolved, means I have attained knowledge. Hmm. Whose thing is why is the ultimate thing? We cannot progress in Krishna consciousness further and further until and unless our why. Doubts get resolved through why. How? When the why is settled, na? Then no doubt. Hmm. Why do we practice Krishna consciousness? Why do I practice? What is the purpose of practicing Krishna consciousness? Purpose is attainment of the highest perfection, highest attainment of human form of life, which is what? Loving service at the lotus feet of the divine couple. Yeah. This translation shares what? Ashtakalya Leela, eightfold pastimes, eternally happening. Shouldn't this be an encouragement for us? Shouldn't this be our motivation? Wow. Should we not be fascinated? Now take this example, say. We get to know in Glasgow city center this Tom Cruise and this Mataji is coming. Say we get to know in Glasgow city center there's a Hollywood movie shooting going on. And Tom Cruise is the hero and the Mataji is the heroine. So the Mataji and Tom Cruise are coming and they are going to do a Bollywood dance. Say. Huh? Wouldn't people be fascinated? Oh wow, really? Suppose this is released in the radio, BBC radio. What? That Tom Cruise and Mataji are coming to perform a night out Leela in Glasgow city center. Wouldn't people want to go and watch? Wouldn't people go want to go and watch live? And take camera, take photographs and all? Wouldn't one want to be, oh, can I be the cinematographer maybe? Can I cover and can I get the autograph and all? Na? Huh? So our motivation should be this only, this entering into the Ashtakalya Leela, pastimes. Now, pastimes doesn't mean it's not like an idle meditation. Krishna consciousness is not at all an idle meditation. It is a very active meditation, very, very active meditation. So we engage, we pray that we engage in these personal pastimes, in this internal personal pastimes, uh, wherein we share a role to play. Until unless we have a personal role to play, we cannot keep ourselves motivated. Then, after 5 years, 10 years, whatever time, question will come. Next, what? I have read Bhagavad Gita all. I've read Bhagavatam also. I've read Chaitanya Charitamrita, Brahma Samhita. I've listened classes. I've retreated. I've been initiated, double initiated. What now? What next? All this. But until and unless our vision is very evolving, what? Huh? That why do we practice Krishna consciousness? What do we want to attain? Then we can never see we have to be consumed by the practice completely. There should be no thought and space, time and space in our practice, in our consciousness to even think how many years have I been practicing. Is it any healthy thought to think, okay, I've been practicing these many years. Now, thinking of this, it may take 10 seconds, even say minimum or maximum, whatever, it may take 10 seconds at least na, to think that. Now, for that 10 seconds, I managed Krishna to sneak from my consciousness. Na? Huh? So, our encouragement, motivation should be all this entrance into the Ashtakalya Lila, this eternal loving pastimes of the divine couple. And this is what Mahaprabhu has come to give us. In society, also, we see na, that love or romance or ultimate thing is love. But love is hardly understood. And by hearing these pastimes of Radha Krishna, we get a glimpse of love. And only by hearing the loving pastimes of Radha Krishna can we free ourselves from lust. In societal sense, if I may say, love is lust only. Hmm. But it doesn't look good to say someone I lust you. So we say, okay, I love you. Huh? We maintain that decorum. Hmm. So this should be our ultimate motivation, entrance into the eternal pastimes, eternal. Should we not be fascinated by eternity? Na? We should be. Suppose someone tells someone what? That, okay, take this American visa, 10 years. Wow, 10-year American visa is being given open. Huh? And here we are getting a visa for eternity, but we are not, we are so conditioned heavily, we do not have any glimpse, we do not have any attraction towards eternity. But when we see someone, a devotee na, who is blessed, evolved, who is living in this life, we have to enter into eternity. Living in this life, na? Otherwise, how does it happen, na? It's no one becomes a saint after death, after giving up the body, na? Living the life, we have to live a saintly life. Some token of consideration has to be given to Krishna, is it not? It's just not like, okay, I believe in Krishna and job done. No. Some token of consideration has to be given. Na? Krishna is saying us, can you be sane for whatever physical breath is left in your life? Now, how much life is left in us? Another 100 years, 120 years, another? Maximum what? Another, we'll live for another what? 150 years? With this rapid advancement and medical progress, uh, and less and less diseases happening around the world nowadays, and more good health, more and more good food, we expect to live what, 120, 50, 200 years? Or don't know, maybe sometimes I do a bit sarcasm, those who know can know. Uh, Whatever is physical breath is left, if we can maintain sanity for that period, then Krishna can help us get into a zone of eternity. So coming to the why na? Why is the most important? As in, it helps us clear our purpose, clear our vision. And once we are convinced of the purpose and the vision, we will never doubt, we will never question ourselves, we will never feel bored, we'll never feel like distracted. The vision will be ever evolving, ever growing. And for that, the why is important. Why do we want to enter into a personal role in the Ashtakalya Leela of Radha Krishna? So this why, and this Mahaprabhu's teachings, Mahaprabhu has come to give us this love of Krishna, not to help build our faith as such, to give us direct thing. The Mahaprabhu has to come give us the highest qualification to the most unqualified. But the problem is this only: I do not consider myself unqualified. This is where I miss out. So does this somewhat answer your question, Nikhil?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes.
See, life crisis. Na Arjuna had a life crisis. Why do I fight? If I fight, I lose. If I win, also I lose. Huh? Why do I fight then? Huh? This why is most difficult. Na life existential question people get. Na why do I exist? Very low in someone's life if this comes. See, people, some who go at societal thoughts or some who unfortunately commit suicide. Do you not think this why must be lingering in their head for a long time? Why is this happening? Uh, where is life leading me? What is happening? Why? What to do? How do I change? Then why do I live? Better to give up. But if why is sorted, then whatever the situation be, if the why is sorted, means having a purpose, a vision. And in society, science, science says, we don't give you a purpose, we don't give you a meaning. We just bring facts. You choose what you want. Krishna consciousness is not like that. Krishna consciousness gives us a purpose in life, a meaning in life. Uh, But the way society runs is you take the meaning out of a life. Uh, And then how can we have a meaningful life when there is no meaning in the life? And then we say having a meaningful life. Anyways, does this answer your question, Nikhil? A bit?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Let us see this next. The last instruction, the epitome. This 9, 10, and 11 are epitome instructions. All resolving our why. कृष्णस्योच्छे प्रणयवसति प्रेयासिभ्योऽपि राधा कुण्डं चास्य मुनिभिरभितस्तादृक् एव व्याध्यायी यत्प्रेष्ठेरप्यलम् असुलभं किं पुनर्भक्तिभाजाम् तत्प्रेमेदं सकृदपि आविष्करोति. Nikhil, read translation.
Hare Krishna. Of the many objects of favored delight and of all the lovable damsels of Vrajabhumi, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love, and in every respect, her divine Kund is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radha Kund is very rarely attained, even by the great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused.
Haribol Jai. Anujarit purpose.
Why is Radha Kund so exalted? The lake is so exalted because it belongs to Srimati Radharani, who is the most beloved object of Sri Krishna. Among all the gopis, she is the most beloved. Similarly, her lake, Sri Radhakund, is also described by great sages as the lake that is as dear to Krishna as Radha herself. Indeed, Krishna's love for Radhakund and Srimati Radharani is the same in all respects. Radhakund is very rarely attained, even by great personalities fully engaged in devotional service, not to speak of ordinary devotees who are only engaged in the practice of Vedi Bhakti.
Piprit.
It is stated that the devotee will at once develop pure love of Krishna in the wake of the gopis if he at once takes a bath in Radha Kund. Srila Rupa Goswami recommends that even if one cannot live permanently on the banks of Radha Kund, he should at least take a bath in the lake as many times as possible. This is a most important item in the execution of devotional service. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in this connection that Sri Radha Kund is the most select place for those interested in advancing their devotional service in the wake of the lady friends, Sakhis, and the confidential serving maids, Manjaris, of Srimati Radharani. Living entities who are eager to return home to the transcendental kingdom of God, Goloka Vrindavan, by means of attaining their spiritual bodies, Siddhadeha, should live at Radha Kund, take shelter of the confidential serving maids of Sri Radha, and under their direction, engage constantly in her service. This is the most exalted method for those engaged in devotional service under the protection of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this connection, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes that even great sages and great devotees like Narada and Sanaka do not get an opportunity to come to Radhakund to take their baths. What then to speak of ordinary devotees? If, by great fortune, one gets an opportunity to come to Radhakund and bathe even once, he can develop his transcendental love for Krishna, exactly as the gopis did. It's also recommended that one should live on the banks of Radhakund and should be absorbed in the loving service of the Lord. One should bathe there regularly and give up all material conceptions, taking shelter of Sri Radha and her assistant gopis. If one is thus constantly engaged during his lifetime, after giving up the body, he will return back to Godhead and serve Sri Radha in the same way as he contemplated during his life on the banks of Radha Kund. The conclusion is that to live on the banks of Radha Kund and to bathe there daily constitute the highest perfection of devotional service. It's a difficult position to attain, even for great sages and devotees like Narada. Thus, there is no limit to the glory of Sri Radhakund. By serving Radhakund, one can get an opportunity to become an assistant of Srimati Radharani under the eternal guidance of the gopis. It is back to the end of the purport. It is a difficult position to attain, even for great sages and devotees like Narada. Thus, there is no limit to the glory of Sri Radhakund. By serving Radhakund, one can get an opportunity to become an assistant of Srimati Radharani under the eternal guidance of the gopis. The conclusion is that to live on the banks of the Radhakund and to bathe there daily constitute the highest perfection of devotional service.
Nikhil, read translation. Nikhil, read translation. Huh?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Of the many objects of favored delight and of all the lovable damsels of Vrajabhumi, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love, and in every respect, her divine kund is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radha Kund is very rarely attained, even by the great devotee. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused.
See, these are ultimate instructions given to us 9, 10, 11. This is where our focus should be. Huh? What to attain. And now look in purport, Nikhil. Your why is a bit settled, na? Why is it? Huh? Why is Radha Kund so exalted? The why thing has to be settled. More and more whys get settled. So, otherwise it will be like we are practicing Krishna consciousness, but for what extent or for what reason? Na? Why do we practice? What is it that we are wanting from the practice of Krishna consciousness? So, this 9, 10, 11 is actually the thing we should be aiming for. Uh, Again, bhakti, na, the stages in bhakti, what? Uh, Sadhana bhakti, Vedi bhakti, rules and regulations. Then, uh, this Raganuga bhakti, है ना? Ragatmika bhakti, bhakti with attachment, hmm, wherein bhakti becomes effortless, and then prema bhakti, bhav bhakti. So this 9, 10, 11, 8 is telling us to enter into bhav bhakti, and the prayojan, the purpose of 8 is telling to enter us into Raganuga bhakti, and the purpose of Raganuga bhakti is attaining what? Bhav bhakti, prema bhakti. This 9, 10, 11. This is what Mahaprabhu has come to give us. Ah, our eternal engagement in the loving eternal pastimes of the divine couple, which was bereft in even in Satyuga. Ah, even in Satyuga. So Mahaprabhu has come to give us the highest for the lowest. The only ask is, do I consider ourselves low? Ah, do I consider myself low? Once I genuinely consider myself low, then yes, the highest thing is there for me. Now, see, we are, as it says in the purport, na, Mahaprabhu has come to give us our Manjari Bhav or to help us attain Manjari Bhav or understand what this Manjari Bhav means. Hmm. Radha Dasyam is the ultimate attainment. And this we see in these translations in these purports. Rupa Goswami's Nectar of Instruction. Prabhupada was pleased na, when initial days devotees were distributing Nectar of this Instruction. So one of Prabhupada's disciple was a bit hesitant in distributing Nectar of Instruction in the initial days. Oh, that Prabhupada, this text 9, 10, 11, this is very esoteric, this is very deep, this is very intimate, personal. How can we distribute it to the common masses? But no, Prabhupada said, no, distribute. Huh. See, Kali Yuga life is small, lifespan is small, and we have a long, long way to go. So we cannot afford too much beat about the bush. Mm. We cannot afford too much beat about the bush. The quickly we get the message, the sooner the message sinks in, the sooner the purpose, the vision sinks in, then we can rapidly advance in Krishna consciousness. Now, one of the problems or the major problem we struggle with Our struggle is this self obsession, self centeredness, heavy, heavy self centeredness. That is the root cause, say, of our problem. Na? We're very self centered, egoistic. Now, see what this Manjari Bhav or what Mahaprabhu is giving to us. Na? When we hear now about Radha Kund and the loving pastimes of Shrimati Radharani and Lord Shri Krishna, na? Huh? The pastimes of gopis and Krishna, that is the only way we can free ourselves from lust. We cannot make any advancement as such, any real tangible. In order to attain Raganuga Bhakti, lust has to be gone. We have to completely go asexual. Hmm. Lust, anger, these all material desires, temptations, we have to be done with it. So, uh, and become what? Give up self obsession and obsess towards Radha Krishna. The love between them. So, see this. Uh, Now we all are attracted or fascinated by something or the other. Na? So, take example of a sport. Generally, like football. Uh, in America, basketball is very popular. Very popular. Basketball and some places like baseball, very, very popular immensely. Football also American soccer. So let's take this sport, say football. Na? It's so popular football that if English Premier League, I believe, is the most viewed sports in the world, most viewed sports in the world, English Premier League. Now, English Premier League football matches, they happen in British times, but someone could be in Europe, someone could be in America, Asia. They would wake up to watch live and all. Huh? Huh? And now, see, take this example, say English Premier League final match or Champions League final match or World Cup football final match. Two countries are playing. Say what? Brazil and England. Hmm? These two countries, say somehow England made it into the final this time, huh, of the World Cup. And now what will happen at that time, say on a Sunday evening, Wembley Stadium in London, where England and Brazil World Cup final match is going to be broadcast happening. Huh? Now that evening, will any football club will they host a football game? No, no football club will hold. That Sunday, will there be any training for the boys? No. No football training for the boys that Sunday. Na? What? Watch the game. Everyone will be watching the game. Everyone will be preparing. In fact, in Europe, in places and other countries also, whatever different sports, they give a day off. Okay, Monday could be the day of the next day, or one day before. Holiday, say, and if the country wins, definitely the next day has to be a holiday, so that people can enjoy, people can celebrate, people can not saying get drunk, people can celebrate. I don't mean to say people can get drunk. No, no, people can celebrate, say, enjoy, no, not getting drunk. So now this game is set up, game is there, and what, everyone will be hooked. Now the bus driver, the airport, look, Sainsbury's, if you go supermarket shopping and all, this game and some nationalistic feeling and all. Now see this, at that time, some boys, they may be so much into football, they may play themselves, but would they be any obsessed with their football playing? No, they would want to watch whom? The likes of Neymar or the likes of Harry Kane, them play. Wow, what it will be like, say, Messi and Ronaldo on the match playing against each other. At that time, they are okay to give up their own football, na? Playing in their back garden or wherever, in any field, they will be okay to give up to watch Messi and Ronaldo play. And what? So much so, if suppose the Wembley Stadium gives an advertisement or makes a appeal, or actually use less electricity because we need to consume electricity for the football game, people will take less electricity, right? If Wembley Stadium says, actually, the hotel bus is broken down, can someone help us find a bus and a driver? Yes, people will make sure that bus is there, driver is there. Suppose the hotel says that suddenly our chef had a stomach problem and chef cannot come. So can anyone please volunteer to come and make breakfast for them? Everyone would want to volunteer, no? Like we will find the best chef then. Oh, please you go and cook for Messi and Ronaldo. Is it not? The point is, one who is a avid lover of football, he would want to make sure that these two personalities meet up. He would do all that arrangement. And the relish he will relish watching whom? Messi and Ronaldo play. He will give up his own self obsession. That is the mood we want to develop performing bhakti. Huh? That is the mood. That bhakti is, see, na, Krishna consciousness is what? To unite the divine couple. It's not that they are ununited or they are in separation or what, but a sadhaka's mood should all be, how do I unite the divine couple? How do I let the two meet? Hmm. And this is Manjari Bhav. Again, take that football or even say this tennis example, Wimbledon. Now, Wimbledon match may be happening. Djokovic and say Federer final. Now people would want to watch and they would want to make sure that yes, stadium is fine, electricity is working, the cafeteria is everything is fine, right? If anything missing, we would want to volunteer to make sure it happens. And our personal we would give away. So our personal self obsession, our personal greed and all this will be say nullified altogether only when we listen to the loving pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And this is the instruction Rupa Goswami is giving us, to listen from authorized source. Only then, by attentive listening, we will understand what love means and we will develop, naturally, we will want to develop a mood to enter into that realm. Hmm. And this is Mahaprabhu come to give us Radha Dasyam. And wherever conclusion is defined, what does it mean? That everything is settled. This is the conclusion. Conclusion means this is the highest thing. Na? This is what to aim for. This is the ultimate. So why should we shy away from aiming this? Huh? See, in this translation, in previous translation in purport, rarity is used. Na? Rare. Rarely attained. Rarely attained means what? What? Can we not one, can I or we not be those rare souls? Why? Rare means okay, it is rare. But that does not disqualify or discount us, na, that you cannot be one of that. Gabor can be one of that. Even Pip can be one of them. Huh? Hamira, Simon, Anuja, Nikhil. Why not? Rare, it is rare. But that doesn't mean that it is not open. Huh? And you know, Krishna consciousness, what does it teaches us? It teaches us dare to be rare. Why not? Dare to be rare, no? What is the loss? And why should we? If we aim for this, then all our lower desires and lower problems will be easily settled when this becomes our vision. Attainment of Radha Kund. Prabhupada's disciple, na? His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, fondly known as Dr. T.D. Singh, Prabhupada's scientist disciple. Huh? Such a rare personality, saint and scientist. Do we see much of this combination in this world? Someone who is actually academic scientist, huh? Scientist, studied, worked, research, and everything, and practiced Krishna consciousness and attained sainthood in Krishna consciousness. Huh? Scientist, disciple of Prabhupada, Dr. T.D. Singh, His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj. His samadhi is there in Radha Kund. Wow. And if we listen to his bhajan, what a mood, what a bhajan. Yeah? His samadhi is there in Radha Kund. So why should we not be, if we are disciples of Dr. T.D. Singh, na? Damodar Maharaj, Shripad Maharaj, we are followers. We are followers of Rupa Goswami. If we are followers, this is what Rupa Goswami is wanting us to attain. Rare doesn't mean that, okay, it is not for everyone. It is for everyone. Open. We all should go for it. What is the harm? And no fear, no worry. It is accessible. We can access this, so we should not leave ourselves behind. And that is the only way. See, this is a bit of an example also. While interested in football, I can give up my own football, wanting to watch Messi and Ronaldo play. And the way they play, this is what we how we imitate, right? In our back garden or in fields. Or this is how Messi tackles. This is how Ronaldo does free kick and whatnot. This is how Ronaldo cheats the referee. Huh? This is how this is how I can. So when we live in this perverted reality, na, the the relationship Radha Krishna share is a loving relationship, pure loving, altogether relationship. And the relationship we have in this world is what? Of a lust based relationship. Hmm. As in, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Hmm. That sort of, but we have to be done through it all together. So when we develop a mood, a vision, a prayer, then our chanting will be different altogether. Ah, our life will be different altogether. So Mahaprabhu has come to give us the highest thing, the highest qualification. Ah, and to us who are the lowest, we have a very poor bank balance in purity. Horrible, very poor bank balance. The only thing required is this acknowledgement. Just this acknowledgement. Krishna consciousness teaches us what? To become certified unqualified. Ever heard of this certified unqualified? In society, what do we learn? Oh, come, I will make you a certified qualified accountant. Is it not? Huh? Come, I will make you a certified qualified doctor, certified qualified lawyer. Huh? This electrical ironing board, iron comes, na? Is it certified? Yes. Huh? So much of certification. In Krishna consciousness, we want the certification of what? Unqualifiedness. One who one who can prove that I'm unqualified for this. Only he can be made qualified. Only he. So this is the paradox. Krishna consciousness will become extremely charming when we find our charm in the paradoxes of Krishna consciousness. Then it will be extremely charming. And then the problems or temptations of this world will not disturb us, will not bother us. Uh, This is what we want to attain. There is a term called amnesty. What does it mean? Amnesty. In legal sense, like say it happens, what? It has happened in America in some places. Someone wanting this residency or citizenship, say in America. So someone been living in America for some time, but he still hasn't got this residency or citizenship. So government has come up with a plan. Okay, because government knows now there are illegal immigrants, na? People who come illegally into country for whatever reasons, and government knows they are working, they are contributing to the economy, and we need and all. So government says, okay, fine, don't worry, we will give you residency or citizenship. Huh? The only thing required is, can you prove you have come illegally? We won't charge you. Definitely won't charge you anything. Just prove that you had come illegally and you have been living in this country for 5 years or 3 years, but illegally. Huh? So government is saying just prove that you have been living in the country illegally for 5 years, and we will give you legal paper and make you a respectable resident. Hmm. Now, those who have come illegally, it's a such a easy thing for them, na? It's like a lottery for them. Yes, Mr. Government, I have come illegally. This is my illegal paper. You make me legal now. Hmm. And now look, when this news breaks out, hmm, in news and all, breaks out that government is saying you prove you have been living here illegally for 5 years, government will make you legal. Those people who came legally, they would also want to show that I have come illegally. Huh? They will also burn their passport and all. That yes, yes, I am not legal. I am also illegal. Make me resident. Because if I don't, otherwise, government is saying no. We will make a resident only to the illegal ones, not the legal ones. Get my point? Now, only to the illegal ones. So you have to prove your illegal status. And that is what Mahaprabhu is saying. Krishna Prem is attainable only to them who are unqualified. Can we just demonstrate to Krishna? When we go into the temple room, what should we demonstrate to Krishna? How pure am I? Or look, Krishna, how fallen am I? So, if we can demonstrate this to Krishna, that Krishna, when we enter the temple room, what should we demonstrate to Krishna? How deserving am I? Or how undeserving am I? If I can till my last physical breath, na, if I can just live in this consciousness that Mahaprabhu, whatever blessings have come, I don't deserve any of it. I'm undeserving. Then I get to deserve the highest attainment. That is the only ask. If I can prove my unqualifiedness, go for a job interview. They ask what? Your qualification, right? How qualified you are. And based on that, we get the job. And here in this life is no less than an interview, say. For us to get into an eternal life, we have to prove our unqualifiedness. If we can prove the unqualifiedness, we will attain Radha Kund. So we should not shy away. We should plan going to Vrindavan, going to Mayapur, visiting Radha Kund once a year for sure. Why not? Kartik time, other times. Huh? And then serve there, live there, hmm, and make this vision that I want to live in Vrindavan, not die. Live in Vrindavan. Huh? Like retirement, na people plan na retirement. Then yes, after 40, after 50, after 60, live in Vrindavan. So Krishna consciousness is a rarely attained. That doesn't mean it is not available. It is open. It is open. Netly can also. It is available. Krishna consciousness teaches us dare to be rare. 8.5 billion population who follows the four regulative principles. If someone is following his rare, na, why not dare to be rare? And when we dare to be rare like this, who has this aim, ambition for liberation, ultimate? So when we dare to be rare, then we get recognized in Krishna's eyes. And this is what we want, to be recognized in Krishna's eyes, not in worldly sense. Okay, any other thoughts, questions, comments, or clarification? Okay, thank you very much for your kind participation and encouragement. By the blessings of the Vaishnavas, Guru Gaurang, by your good friendship, we somehow managed to study Nectar of Instruction. Uh, may not say that to our heart's content. By studying Nectar of Instruction, we are realizing that so much we do not know, or what we know, or where we are. There's such a huge gap, na? There's such a huge gap between what I believe and what I live by. Huge, huge gap between what I believe and what I live by. I believe in equality, but I live like a racist. Huge gap in what I believe and what I live by. But especially when we aim for these instructions, and especially 9, 10, 11, attainment of Vrindavan Dham, attainment of Radha Kund, attainment of the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Hmm? This should be our goal, aim, vision. Radhika Charan Renu, Radhika Charan Renu Bhushan Koriya Tanu अनायासे पावे गिरिधारी राधिका चरणाश्रय जे कोरे से महाशय तारे मुई जाऊं बलिहारी. Do not we want to please our acharyas? Acharya saying Radhika Charanashraya Je Kore Se Mahashay Tare Mui Jau Balihari. So if we want to please our acharyas, we should take into Radha Dasyam, the servitorship of the subservient, uh, subservient of the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Hare Krishna.